Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I will be covering the new Amazon Prime original series, Night Sky. This will be a non-spoiler review of all 8 episodes of the first season. Does Prime have a new hit on their hands with this sci-fi mystery, or is it a complete disaster? Let's talk about it. Night Sky is created by Holden Miller and stars J.K. Simmons, Sissy Spacek, Chai Hansen, Adam Bartley, Kaya McKiernan, Julieta Zilberberg, and Rocio Hernandez. The series centers around Franklin and Irene York, a couple who years ago discovered a chamber buried in their backyard, which inexplicably leads to a strange deserted planet. They've carefully guarded their secret ever since, but when an enigmatic young man enters their lives, the Yorks' quiet existence is quickly upended, and the mysterious chamber they thought they knew so well turns out to be much more than they ever could have imagined. Amazon Prime is coming back with a vengeance once again to try and make a name for themselves in the streaming world. They have struggled in the past with creating serialized genre series that will keep audiences clamoring for more, only succeeding here and there with hits like The Boys and Wheel of Time. But with their recent success with Outer Range, and now this series, Night Sky, they are beginning to really find their groove with the sci-fi genre. Only time will tell if audiences fall for this little gem of a show, but I really hope they do, because after watching all 8 episodes of Season 1, Night Sky is just scratching the surface of what it has in store for viewers. The series is anchored by 2 deeply felt and outstanding performances by Academy Award winners Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons. The acting legends create such a genuine and compelling couple in Franklin and Irene York. Partners whose bond with each other knows no bounds, and their love radiates off of the screen in such a touching way. It is so refreshing to see older performers like Spacek and Simmons be given such prominent and meaty roles like the ones that they get to inhabit in Night Sky. And it just goes to show that there are important stories to be told for anyone in any age bracket. The other main lead of this series is Australian Thai actor Chai Hansen, who I was unfamiliar with before watching this show, but he makes a real impact here. The mysterious stranger Jude that the Yorks find passed out in their space bunker is the key to unlocking the mysteries of Night Sky. And Hansen holds the many secrets of this series close to his chest, slowly unveiling the many different facets of this character in a methodical way. This isn't the easiest character to play because we aren't given many nuggets of information about him from the get-go. Just that he is possibly dangerous and is not being upfront in the information that he knows. The audience is constantly being torn back and forth on whether we can trust Jude or not. But Hansen is so utterly likable that we are more than willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, just as Irene does in the show. I went into Night Sky completely blind, without even watching a trailer, and I have to say that I am so happy that I did. It's been a while since I've thrown myself into a show that I really had no idea what to expect from. And this puzzle box of a series left me never knowing what was gonna come next. There are so many twists and turns in Season 1 that I think audiences will be left without any choice but to stay glued to their screens for the next episode. One thing I will say though is that this series does throw a lot of supporting characters and side plots at the audience, and you will be left wondering what their purpose is to the overall arc of the show. And that does lead me to one of my big issues with Night Sky. While we have our main plot that revolves around the Yorks, we also have another storyline running parallel with theirs that revolves around Argentinian mother and daughter, Stella and Tony. As the first season ran its course, I couldn't help but feel that every time the show switched gears to follow these two, that it lost steam. I was so captivated by what was going on with Franklin, Irene, and Jude that the sudden shift in the narrative would leave me feeling frustrated. It doesn't help that as an audience, you're not really sure how and why these two characters are important to the story for most of the season. You know that somehow these storylines are going to converge, but it's not until episode 7 that these pieces start to really come together. And then, when they do, you're left with more questions than you are with answers. There are also a couple of random plot threads revolving the York's nosy neighbor Byron, who is running for city council and who's suspicious of what this couple is up to, as well as one about a klepto nurse named Chandra who steals her patients' belongings, that just don't feel integral to the overall narrative. You're left wondering what the point of these characters are, and even though the writers do attempt to create reasons for their existence, these plot lines feel more shoehorned in as a matter of convenience to further the storyline along, rather than actually being truly important. I honestly wish that some of these ideas were scrapped, and it would have made this season feel less convoluted and more streamlined. And before I jump in to why I do think that Night Sky is such a special show, I have to acknowledge the fact that the scripts are really lacking at times. The dialogue can be extremely silly, especially lines delivered by the York's granddaughter, played by Kaya McKiernan. I'm not sure if it's the actress's delivery or the stilted dialogue or a little bit of both, but almost every time she spoke, it just kind of felt awkward. And the scripts can leave much to be desired, as if the writers are still trying to figure out the real potential of this concept. But for me, that's okay, because this concept is so brilliant and rife with possibility. There are so many incredible series out there that had a bit of a rocky first season, but because all of the building blocks were there and as strong as they were, the writers were finally able to pull it all together and create something great in subsequent seasons. And I absolutely see that happening with Night Sky. We have a leading trio of performers that have created 3 fascinating characters that I can see myself following and falling for even more in years to come. And we have a concept that is so intriguing, with an absorbing mystery that feels like it's just scratched the surface of unlocking its many secrets. Like who the Guardians are and what exactly they are sworn to protect, and what is really out there on that forsaken desert planet. Hint, we do get a glimpse of it in the finale. And finally, what does Jude and his father have to do with this whole conspiracy? So to be frank, does this first season deal with some growing pains? Most definitely. But most first seasons do. And I am 100% down to continue on this ride to get to see what this Night Sky has left to unveil to us. Because whatever it is, I feel like it's going to be pretty damn good. So, I will be giving Night Sky 3.75 the Count of Monte Cristos out of 5. Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons are reason enough to check this sci-fi mystery out. But even though it does have a bit of a rocky start, due to some weird plotting, dialogue, and unnecessary supporting characters, Night Sky is full of so much potential. Season 2 cannot come soon enough. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel and my review for Season 1 of Night Sky. What are your thoughts on this new series? Do you think it has what it takes to be the next big long-running sci-fi series? Or do you think it's a one-and-done show with nowhere else to go? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.